Lesson 5-8, Example 1. Our objective is learning to multiply mixed numbers. So mixed numbers, here we have 1/4 times 1 1/3. Well, we know how to multiply fractions. And if we can think of this mixed number, 1 1/3, as a fraction, then we can use just normal multiplication of fractions to solve that. So I can think of 1 1/3 as an improper fraction. So I have 4/3. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So I can think of 1 1/3 as 4/3. And I'm multiplying that by 1/4. So 1/4 times 4/3, 1 times 4 on the numerator. My denominator is 4 times 3. And I end up with 4/12. And 4/12 reduces down to 1/3. So 1/4 times 1 1/3 is 1/3. And I'm taking, that makes sense, I should be coming up with something smaller than what I started with because I'm taking a fraction of something. I'm taking a piece of something else. So I should end up with something smaller, and that's what I did. So let's take a look at another one here. 3 1/2 multiplied by 4/5. Well, my 4/5 is good. So now I'm going to think of my 3 1/2 as 7 halves. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so 7 halves. I'm going to do my multiplication, 7 times 4 on the top, and 2 times 5, and I'm noticing that I have a common factor. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to go ahead and use that greatest common factor. 2 is a factor of 4, so that's a 1 there and a 2, so 7 times 2 is 14, and 1 times 5 is 5. And I have 14/5, and I can reduce that down to 2 4/5. Again, so I'm coming up with 4/5 of 3 1/2, something a little bit smaller. That would make sense. Let's take a look at one more. 12/13 times 2 3/8. So I'm taking a fraction of this, so I should end up with something a little bit smaller than this, but not a lot because that's pretty close to 1, 12/13. So just a little bit smaller than this. So 12/13. I'm going to think of 2 3/8 as 16 19/8. So I have 12 times 19. I have 13 times 8, and I notice there's a common factor there is 4. So I'm left with 2 down here and 3 up here. 19 and 13, those are prime numbers, so that's just they don't have any other factors other than 1 and the number themselves. So I end up with 3 times 19, which is 57, and 13 times 2, which is 26. And if I reduce that down, I can pull out 2 wholes, and I'm left with 5/26. So 2 5/26, which is just a little bit smaller than 2 3/8.